Hey guys, Mr. C. Happy Friday. I just wanted to respond to some of your comments in the discussion for your additional research that was due on Wednesday. You guys really knocked this out of the park. So the question was, find another person that was another influential leader, and the people that you found really were influential, and you, for the most part, you could trace back their influence in their work to Gandhi and Martin Luther King and Cesar Chavez. They're all kind of interrelated. Malala Yousafzai, Pakistani activist. She got a lot of attention 4 or 5 years ago. Um, she really advocated for girls to go to school in Pakistan that was uh, um, you know trying to be controlled by the what do you call it? The Taliban at the time. And so she was shot in the head and lived. A Nobel Prize recipient. So similar to Martin Luther King, um, she received one of the highest honors in the world. Okay. A Nobel Prize recipient generally will get there through nonviolent protests, through peaceful protests. She does a lot of speeches. Her uh, biography is very, very powerful. If you guys have time on your hands, and I know you do, and you have Netflix, um, David Letterman, who's an older talk show host, he has a show called My Next Guest Needs No Introduction, and he had Malala on. It's about an hour interview. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic interview with her. She's quite inspiring for such a young person. Nelson Mandela, South African civil rights leader. So similar to Gandhi, similar to Martin Luther King, similar to Cesar Chavez, fighting for the working class person. Okay. Him and Gandhi have a very large relation because both of them lived in South Africa. Gandhi living in South Africa for a time, Nelson Mandela for his entire life. Mandela lived at a time during it was called apartheid, and apartheid was a set of rules in South Africa that basically made it illegal for blacks and whites in South Africa to live and interact together. So Liam, you did a really nice job with that, nailed it. Nelson Mandela, another peaceful protester, definitely inspired by Martin Luther King, definitely inspired by Gandhi. Abe Lincoln, another really, really good one. Fifth, I think, president. No, sorry, 16th president is right there of the United States. Lincoln's known for freeing the slaves with the Emancipation Proclamation. And basically, the entire economy of the South in the United States was based on slavery, was based on free work. And so not only was it the racial injustice and this terrible thing that was happening in the South with with slavery, but Lincoln also had to deal with the economic fallout of that. Okay. So Lincoln, one of the greatest presidents in history, clearly another influential leader. Just the fact that we're still talking about him in 2020 is amazing. Harriet Tubman, Underground Railroad, freeing the slaves over 10 years, 19 trips, 300 slaves. She has a connection to Central New York. After she had finished up with the Underground Railroad, she lived in Auburn, which is about 40 minutes west of Syracuse. You can actually still visit her house. It's very humble. It's very small. It's very simple. Highly recommend anybody to do that. There's a great tour. Also a supporter of women's suffrage. Suffrage is basically the women being allowed to vote. Okay, so Jaden nailed this one. Really, definitely an influencer of Martin Luther King because she had lived before him. And along those same lines of great Americans that were fighting for what's right. Alexander the Great, definitely a leader. Definitely influential as far as military tactics. This gentleman lived 2,000 years before Gandhi and Martin Luther King, specifically with military tactics, he was highly, highly influential. Especially the Romans learned a lot from him. We learned about him in class. Antonio, really good job thinking outside the box here. Definitely was a leader. Barack Obama, 44, successful presidency. Obama's a cool guy. I like Obama. I think that he has a lot of interesting things to say. Definitely a great leader. Cal, you say he led the capture and killing of Osama bin Laden. That was a huge deal at the time. I remember where I was when I found out about that. Another Nobel Prize winner. Okay, so you guys are doing that right research and you're landing on those people that won the Nobel Peace Prize. Tracing his Martin Luther King's influence back to Barack Obama, I'm sure Martin Luther King would be thrilled to see a black president. Definitely an interesting guy. Very, very cool. Nice job, Cal. Sojourner Truth, African-American woman born into slavery, similar to Harriet Tubman, fought for the freeing of slaves. One of several escaped slaves, along with Douglas and Harriet Tubman, to rise to prominence as abolitionist. An abolitionist means someone who wanted to free the slaves. Okay, she, just like everyone else, right in line with those very influential leaders. Mintaka, I'm glad you landed on her for your research. Einstein. I was wondering what Emma was going to pick. Albert Einstein. Very, very, very influential physicist. E = mc squared. Don't even ask me to describe what that actually means, but it definitely is a very, very, very famous equation there. Emma brings up a really good point in the last sentence here. I think my classmates should learn about Einstein because he survived both world wars as a Jewish man and made many amazing discoveries. So you guys know from social studies class, the Jewish people during World War II did not have an easy time. Einstein, I believe, during World War II lived in the United States, so he had escaped all that treachery and terrible things happening in Europe. So Emma, no surprise picking a physicist. That's very cool. Rosa Parks, another non-violent protester, page highlighted here. So she is famous for refusing to give up her seat on the bus. She did something peacefully. Okay, she didn't fight anybody. Similar to Martin Luther King, was arrested for not following the rules. Those rules, after a while, became nonsense. Okay, sometimes people get thrown in jail for things that weren't right at the time, but turns out they were on the right side of history afterward. Brave and loyal. Rosa Parks lived at the same time as Martin Luther King, so they were fighting the same movement at the same time. Cool. Fauci. Dr. Anthony Fauci. This guy's interesting. I've been reading a lot about him. He is part of Trump's pandemic team. And a 79-year-old man, he works 20 hours a day. So 24 hours a day. He's working for 20 of them. My wife told me this morning that he runs 8 miles every day on his lunch break. So my wife and I are both runners, and so she found that interesting. He very, very interesting man. He is not just Trump's advisor in the COVID-19 pandemic. He advised many presidents over the years. When I was younger than you guys, so when I was in 3rd and 4th grade, the AIDS epidemic happened. He was advising presidents during that. During the Zika virus outbreak, which happened in about 2016, was spread by mosquitoes. So he's worked with a lot of different presidents. Definitely a very admirable man. So I'm glad that we have some. It's super cool. We have all the way back to Alexander the Great, and then all the way up to Anthony Fauci with your research there. So really, really, really cool. And then, of course, ending Cole with Martin Luther King Jr., probably one of the most important leaders in the civil rights movement in America. Okay, there have been civil rights movements all over the country, and so he is definitely one of the more famous in America. it's strong connection between him and Gandhi. Okay, and you guys know that from the social studies lessons. Montgomery. So, in speaking of nonviolent protest, Montgomery bus boycott. A boycott is when you refuse to spend money at a business that is a peaceful protest. Marching, doing speeches. If you guys link, actually, I'll link this on YouTube today, probably with this video. His "I Have a Dream" speech is quite long, and I highly recommend you guys to watch it. It's not just him saying "I have a dream"; it's 20 or 30 minutes. So, overall, I really this is getting too far. I really liked what you guys found. Okay, some things that were obvious, and some things that were brand new, and some people that I never would have thought that you guys would have came across. So you guys did a really nice job with this. I am going to continue with the discussion part of the thought question every Wednesday. So, and then I'll give you a response video on Friday. All right. If you haven't done so already, please make sure you hand in your thought question today. It's due at 3 p.m. on Friday, just to put an end date on that. Beginning next week, I'm not going to put grades in school tools, but I am going to start giving you actual grades again. Okay, just for guidance on what you can improve on. Okay, have a great weekend. I hope to see all of you in person soon. Until then, stay healthy, stay strong. Don't drive your parents crazy. I'll see you later.